There you go. Woohoo.
All right.
Hello, everyone who is here, who is not here. We're gonna see what we can do and ask and get inspired by Kathy Williams to create the best possible 2019. Kathy, she is an abundance coach, um, and she has been trained in many modalities like access consciousness and neuro-linguistic programming, and she uses the blend of all the tools that work the best to create the life that she loves instead of being in a doubt and negative thinking. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Thank you. Happy to. Thank you all for being here. I'm really grateful that you're here on in these final days of 2018. And oh geez, I was facilitating a class in California a couple months ago, and someone said to me, "Kathy, are you always happy?" And I was like, well, no, right? I don't know if there's anyone who's always happy. But, what I really wanted to say was, you should have seen me. I was this anxious little person who felt like the only thing in her life she could control was food and just a stress ball. Like for years of my life, I lived as a stress ball and just really tightly wound, nervous, and that wasn't a fun way to live. So I was a ballerina. I was a professional ballerina, and I started to go to yoga at night just to chill out. And I felt like I would hobble in, like all stressed out, and my knees would hurt and all this. And then I felt like I could run out of class, and my mind was calm. So I thought there's something to this. There's something that works about yoga. And when they started a teacher training program at my center, I didn't go because I wanted to become a yoga teacher. I went because I wanted to know why this stuff worked for me. And ultimately, when you're a yoga teacher and people find that out, they want you to teach. So I had several invitations to teach and started to do that. And people started asking me for private lessons, and they would come for their back pain. But as we got into it, I looked at like, gosh, it's their back pain that brought them here, but that's not the underlying issue, right? And I recognized that there were so many tools I did not have, right? So many things I couldn't work with. So I started to accumulate the tools to work with various conditions and people and what was going on with them. And that included so many things from Reiki to pranic healing, to EFT and tapping, to neuro-linguistic programming, to hypnosis, to like so many things. And they each kind of added to my repertoire. And what I was able to help people move out of. And then I discovered both Michael Neal and the Three Principles, and which is a glorious body of work to help you. I listened to Michael Neal's radio show every week, and while taking a walk, and ultimately every single time my mind was so still afterwards, I was like, what's going on here? I need to learn more about this. So I took his coaching program, and then the tools of access consciousness really worked to clear my head as well. The first time I had an access bars session, I lay on the table for about 20 minutes. It was an intro session. And when I got up, my head was completely clear. And that really, I found remarkable. But what I really found remarkable was that the next day when I woke up, my head was still like that. And I was like, whoa. So I've learned all these things and integrated all these things, ultimately becoming an Access Consciousness certified facilitator and traveling around the world to facilitate classes, to really have a toolbox that to address anything. And what's so beautiful about this is, if we're willing to have a curiosity and a sense of curiosity and an open mind, and really start to trust our awareness, possibilities abound. And so you just asked, that was a long intro. You just asked about negativity. And one of the first beautiful tools that I love to use is like, is this mine? Right? Such a simple question. Is this even mine? Because so often we're just aware. I mean, when I was in the ballet, I so wish I had that tool. Is this mine? Because if not, oh, just return it to center with consciousness. Like, I had so much stress and anxiety that wasn't mine. I had so many perfectionistic tendencies that, you know, a large percentage of those weren't mine. And if I had known, oh, I can just send them back, I can just send back these thoughts. Just because they're in my head doesn't mean they're mine, doesn't mean they're real, then I would have had tremendously more ease. So that's the first thing about negativity. And, you know, the next tool that I would love to share is the willingness to expand out. All right, and what does this mean? It means usually we're identifying with the matter, right? What's the matter and the matter. So this body, I am this history, I am these things that happened to me. And we get to question, is that actually really true? So if you're willing to right now, wherever you are, expand your awareness to include the entire room or the entire car you're in, whatever you're in. And then expand your awareness to include the entire building, into the neighborhood, into the countryside, across the planet, to include this planet and all the other planets in our solar system. So you're expanding your awareness out to include this solar system and expanding across the galaxy. And closing your eyes if that works better for you. This galaxy is one of hundreds of trillions of galaxies in hundreds of trillions of galaxies.
Touch base with expansion, Kim says.
Yeah. And this is the space of you. And how much can you be that when you interact with your mother or your child or your brother? How much can you be that when you're at the grocery store? Because that's you as you are anyway. You're just not usually identifying with it. So when we expand out, anything that's crunchy dissipates. So any upset just sort of loses its intensity, loses its significance. And that's why this is one of my very favorite tools. It doesn't take long. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
And another one is gratitude, right?
Gratitude is huge.
So how can someone practice gratitude daily?
You know, I invite people to do this a couple of ways. This is a large part of changing your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. In fact, if you have, you know I have someone I work with who makes $7 million a year, okay, a year, but doesn't sleep well, right? Like, so even if you have a ton of money, if your mind is not in the right place, if you're stressed out and anxious, can you truly be abundant? So gratitude is one of these reorienting things that has actually been scientifically studied by Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania. And he studies optimism. Like, his whole career has pretty much focused on studying like where people are oriented, and has found that even just reflecting on 3 things you're grateful for before you go to sleep and writing those down changes everything, changes the neural pathways in your brain. So what it would look like is, I'm just going to use something small. Oh, I'm really grateful that my husband brought me ice cream today. And then you go on to elaborate. I really love that he's thoughtful like that. Or I really love that he cares that much. Okay. I really love that it snowed for my children. Thank goodness, right? Because it's so much fun to watch them play in the snow. Okay, so you use that one piece of gratitude, whatever you're grateful for, and then you elaborate a little bit on it. And just doing that activity for a couple of months changes your neural pathways. The other way that I often invite people to do it is in the morning, like to set the stage for your day, right? So if you're, getting up early, which is a huge habit of many CEOs, it's called the 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. is when like nobody else is awake, so it is really still outside. Like my favorite time of day, or 4:30, but that's pushing it. So it's so still in the world. Like most people with active minds are asleep. So you get your own space and just journaling about what you're grateful for. And then the really fun piece is to journal about being grateful for what you'd like to show up that hasn't yet, as though it's shown up already. Why? Because gratitude is something we generally have after the fact, right? My husband brought me ice cream. I'm grateful, right? It snowed already. I'm grateful. I had a wonderful meal. Now I'm grateful. I'm usually not grateful before, right? I'm grateful for the wonderful meal that I haven't had yet. However, a quick way to start to get your molecules dancing and attracting what it is you'd like to show up is to write out how grateful you are for having what you're asking for already. So what would that look like? Okay. I'm having a radical abundance retreat in September with dolphins in California. Right, like right near where the dolphins come to the beach. So, so this would look like me saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful for all of the amazing people who have come to the retreat. It's really just rocked my world. Their receptivity and how they're getting all the information, and the connections we've made, and it's just deepened the whole experience to have everyone together in person." And I'm so grateful for the dolphins that we've seen. I mean, more dolphins than I'd ever even expected. And like writing all of this down. It's as though it's happened. Gets your neural pathways reoriented in the direction of, oh yeah, this is totally viable, totally feasible, and it's coming. It's actually occurred. Question? It's really an amazing way of drawing in what you do.
For me, on the beginning, it was just like, okay, if Kathy says it's like this, then I trust her and I'm going to try it as well. So it must work. And I did, and it works.
And I love that, because it's like, don't just trust me, use it, do it, see it, show up. Right? Because when you're doing that, you're being the energy of pulling it in. You're being an energy pull. It's not something you have to effort at. You're being the lightness of that, which is pulling it in. And when you have an experience that you truly are just loving, let's say it's the ice cream, or let's say it's a client that you're just like, oh my gosh. Like yesterday, I had a client and he was like, Kathy, this is showing up in my life, and I totally transformed my relationship with my sister by working with you, and this stuff is even working on things that I never expected it to work on. And hearing him and being in that energy, you know, what was my request? More, please. Thank you. More people like this. More energy like this. That's my request of the universe. Whenever you're in the space of, oh, I'm loving this ice cream, or I'm loving this client, or I'm loving this walk in the woods. More, please, universe. Thank you. I'm loving depositing this check. Right on it. More, please. Thank you. How to get even better than this? That's the kind of stuff I write on my checks, right? That I'm depositing. Thanks, universe. More, please.
Does anyone has any questions about their desires? You can unmute yourself and ask if you want. If not, then we will move on.
And if you're on the phone, obviously you don't have connection to the chat room, so you can just, you know, unmute yourself and say, hey. I love seeing your faces. I know some of you are in your pajamas or whatever. You don't have to show your face. It's a fun day after all.
Something else we could maybe talk about is the light and heavy tool from Access Consciousness. So how do you actually choose, and how do you trust your intuition to choose?
Cool. I love this question, because so many of us choose to trust the doubt instead of choosing to trust ourselves. And the fun thing is, when you make a choice, you always get awareness right away. Okay? Just by the way you feel, even. So I can tell a little story about that if you like. So tell me if you want a little story about it. But this, you know, is not unique to Access Consciousness. But Access is one of the you know, it's really gotten this tool out there in a big way, which is super awesome. So there are many ways of doing it, and one of the ways that I would just invite you to tap into light and heavy is ask yourself a question right now that's not true for you. So if you're standing, then say, am I sitting, right? And if you're sitting, say, am I standing? And just get a sense of like where that lands in your body. Okay, so is that expansive for you? Does it feel on, or is it contracted or crunchy? Okay, and now do the opposite and say whatever it is you are doing. Am I sitting? Okay. And compare the two. So one is going to be more light, and expansive, one is going to be more heavy and contracting. And that's a way you can start to get in touch with using this tool. And you can even ask yourself to make it really obvious to you. Okay? When I started talking with my body, body, show me what you would like to eat. It wasn't always really apparent, sometimes. So I started asking my body, okay, make it really clear. And when you ask, you receive. So now my body is, communication with me is extremely clear. Like I know if I've eaten one bite too much of something. Okay, so asking for clarity, you'll get it. Okay, so Paul Douglas is an author who's written a book, Think with the Heart and Love with the Mind. And he asks people to just check with their chest area. Like, what is your heart, right, or chest? What's the sensation there? So when you're asking a question, how do you feel it in your chest? It's different ways of playing with the same tool. So with light and heavy, when you're going to make a choice, another comparison is, if I choose this, how will my life be? And you can put a time frame on it, or what kind of future will that create? And if I don't choose this, how will my life be? Let's say in 5 years. Or what kind of future will that create? So I've used this, I use it like all day long. If I choose to have this conversation now, how will my life be in 5 years? If I choose to wait on this conversation, how will my life be in 5 years? If I choose to not have this conversation at all, how will oh, that feels awful. Okay, I need to have it, right? Now or at another point. And I tap into what's lighter. You can do this even with scheduling something. Okay, shall we get together in the morning? That's a little clunky. Okay, in the afternoon? That's a little bit lighter, like that. Because on some level, even if you don't think you know. And so your awareness will tell you. You don't know what's going on in the morning, but something will arise. So you're getting a clear signal, right? A clear indicator of lightness. Oh, it's lighter to meet with you in the afternoon. Do you have questions about this light and heavy tool?
I just want to add to it that on the beginning, maybe you are not great at it yet, but if you judge yourself, you diminish even that little intuition and trust and awareness that you have. So judging yourself, saying that, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm not feeling anything, it's not happening, that is going to make things worse. So just take it as a game. Just try every little question. Just ask a question and then see what comes up. And if nothing comes up, that's fine as well. And then gradually you're going to learn. Gradually you will get into it better by trying.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's really true. And heavy does not mean no. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Okay? So they just assume, well, okay, it's heavy, so I'm not going to do it. Right? Instead of asking more questions. Oh, is it the time? Like let's say I'm creating a class. It's so funny because last year I was going to have a class in London. And it was really light. And then the host of the class was like, well, there's going to be this other class the month after, and I'm not sure. And okay. So then, time went on. And I was like, it's just still super bubbly and light to have the class. So I called him, or I Facebooked or whatever. And I said, the the class is still super light. It's still like it wants to occur. And he goes, I know, isn't it? Fuck it, we're gonna do it, right? And we did, and we had our class, and there were 9 or 10 people, I don't remember. And then the month after, there was a class too, and they had like 9 or 10 people also. So it's like you have to ask more questions, right? It's not just when something's heavy, it's just a no. Okay? Is it the time? Is it the place? Like initially we were gonna have that London class in April or something like that. Why? I don't know. April is a bit too cold for me, but you know, then asking questions. Oh, June is lighter. Okay, cool. You know, where? You know, is it in the city? That's pretty light. Okay, where? And then even in terms of like selecting the location, just running through all the venues, hotels, Airbnbs, you know, other kinds of centers. What's the lightest? Where would the class like to be? It's really all about asking questions. A lot of times people are like, oh, it's heavy, I'm not going to do it. No, is it heavy or do you have resistance, right? I have resistance to, I have this guy I have to email. I don't have to, but there's a huge possibility and a huge lightness if I do. But I have resistance. I don't want to email him. Okay? But I get that it's going to create a greater future if I do. Does that make sense? So we have to look at, is it heavy or is it resistance? Is it, if it's heavy, also, what other questions do I need to be asking? It's not a just a conclusive, oh, now I'm going over here now. So Megan, was that helpful about light and heavy? She's posted in the chat there. The other thing a lot of people have learned to do is override their awareness, right? So like Bella said, sometimes it's so minuscule, like we think, oh, didn't get any awareness, right? Because for years and years and years, we've learned to override it, right? Even as a small child, I don't really think Santa exists, but all these adults are telling me he does, so he must, right? Or, well, let me give you this example. Like, how many times do we have the gut sense? Well, I'll give you a story. So let's say you're at a party and you need to find a way of getting home. And you're like, well, I could Uber, I could take a taxi, maybe I could take the train or something, and someone offers you a ride. And you're like, oh, okay, that sounds amazing. And then immediately after you say that, you get like this gnawing feeling in your gut. Like, something feels really off about this, right? So now what do you choose, right? You've made a choice and you got awareness, right? The awareness was like, okay. Now do you override your awareness and still go with this person, right? You don't know why there's an maybe they're a creep, maybe they're going to be in an accident, maybe they're going to want to leave like at 2 a.m. and you'd rather leave at 11. You know, you don't know exactly why you have this but you got that awareness. Do you override it to be nice, to be consistent, to do what you said you were going to do? Or do you maybe go the uncomfortable direction and say, actually, I found a different way of getting home, right? Or actually, I need to reconsider, right? So often we override our awareness in favor of what's polite or in favor of someone else's awareness, right? Would you be willing to listen to both awarenesses, and subtle, right? Really apparent and really subtle. And know that you can always choose again, right? So every choice brings you awareness and you can always choose again. If you haven't given yourself permission to do that, now you have full permission. Okay? If you need to write it on a card, like now I have permission to follow my awareness, write it down. And if you've been overriding your awareness so much that you don't even think you really have awareness, then play with it. Oh, how many text messages do I have? Who's calling right now? Oh, I was right. It is my dad. Whatever it is. Like, reinforce to yourself that you have awareness because you do. And if you like the clearing statement, you can clear all the points of view that you have that you don't receive awareness.
I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, I asked people what would they like to create next year. Quit my job to be fully self-employed and helping others financial freedom. I would like to outcreate my financial reality and have more ease with money and receiving. Well, yes, time for me. I would like to receive £3,000 a month from my business for the start. Do you have any tools, Kathy, for questions, or what would you do?
So I'm curious about Nikki. She says financial freedom. What is financial freedom? What is financial freedom? Okay, and now, right? So all the definitions you have about that, everything you think it means, wow. Well, you just collapse all that back to energy. Okay, so it's been solidified, right? Solidified as a point of view. And just collapse it back to energy. Okay, and now for everyone, if you have the type of financial reality that you'd really like to have, okay, let's try that on. So close your eyes. Nikki said, live with ease with money. Okay, so imagine your life, right? And it doesn't even have to be like you're going through scenarios. It's just like, okay, now you are a person who lives with ease with money. You have abundance. You have more than enough to do everything it is you would like to do. What energy, what space, what consciousness can you be to tap into this and receive it with total ease? Okay, so be that energy. And if you have any trouble with that, type in the chat. Be that energy. And now it's the universe's job to figure out the how. Why? Because if you have to figure out the how, you have to go to the past. Your past or someone else's, right? You have to refer to the past and to create that if you're figuring out the how, okay? So thank you, universe, for bringing this to me. This is what I'm asking. I wonder how magically that this will show up. This doesn't mean you don't take action. It doesn't mean you sit on the couch with a big bag of potato chips and the remote control and you watch Netflix for 5 hours straight. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Is that going to create what you'd really like to create? So what's your job? Your job is to ask, which you've already done. Your job is to tap into that vibration, right? Be the energy pull. And then your job is to follow the breadcrumbs. What would it take to have this show up? Oh, I'm getting to call this person. Do it. Because so often I hear someone say, oh, what would it take to have more money with total ease? And they're just asking and then brushing it by and going to have lunch. Right? They're not actually asking, okay, what would be required of me? Show me, universe. What are you inviting me into? Make it really clear. Right? So when you ask a question like, what would it take a breath, a moment. Maybe something will pop in. Maybe it won't. Maybe, you'll ask, what would it take to have a good bottle of wine right now? And maybe the mailman will show up right away. That can happen. Okay? Often we need to take some action, right? Because this is a universe that requires engagement. Even if you want to date, you don't sit and stream Netflix for 6 hours. You actually have to at least swipe your finger right or left, right? Or tell your friend, hey, I'm looking. Go somewhere, right? So the 3 things that are required in creation are choosing, right? I'm having this. This year, I'm out creating my financial reality. Notice I didn't say, I want this, right? Because want already creates a divide between you and what you would like to have. I'm having this. I'm having ease with money. I'm having the 3,000 or more, right, that Bella asked for, right? So it requires choice. The second element it requires is the energy, right? That is, I'm being the energy. I'm pulling in energy. And we'll do an energy pull in a little bit. Okay, but already when you're in the energy of that, like when you have that client you're loving and you say, more please, thank you, you're pulling it in. Okay? When you're being the energy of the person who has ease with money, has abundance, knows the world is abundant, which it is, right? Even your body has trillions and trillions of cells, right? Your body's abundant. Okay? So being that energy. And then 3, engage. Engaging with people. If you're having a garden, you're engaging with the earth, the soil. When you're creating a painting, you're engaging with the paint, the canvas, whatever it is. Engaging with the world. So those are 3 elements that are required in creation. And if you'd like more ease, I'm having more ease. I'm choosing it. I was in Peru last year. Was it last year, 2 years ago? I have very little sense of time. Yeah, it was well, it was 2017. And we hiked to Machu Picchu. I did not train to hike to Machu Picchu. Honestly, I was a little intimidated. Like, I don't even hike. I love to hike, but I rarely hike on my own island. So I was like, okay, we're going to Machu Picchu. Okay, good luck, Kathy. Anyway, I did great. So we hiked like 3 days to Machu Picchu. And then like 2 days later, we were hiking up this mountain, super cool mountain. I'll show you a picture in a moment at the end of this call, called Rainbow Mountain. And Rainbow Mountain has like turquoise and orange and white and purple. It is a rainbow. It's amazing. And so Rainbow Mountain was steeper than Machu Picchu. And so we're going up Rainbow Mountain. And the scary part wasn't getting up, it was actually getting down. And I was just like, universe, show me the easiest way. Show me the way of least effort, right? Because there was a good chance if I didn't step in the right place that I would like slip my butt down the side of the mountain. So it's like, universe, show me. And whenever I asked that, I would just know exactly where to place my feet. Because the universe is your friend. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have food on the table, and a zillion things had to happen to get that food on the table, right? Even just for one apple, right? Someone had to plant the tree. Someone had to make sure it had enough irrigation, pick the apple, make sure the tires on the car, tires were put on the truck to get you that apple, make sure that all the parts were on that truck, the screws, all the things that had to come together to get you just one apple are like mind-blowing. The universe loves you and your trillions of cells. So what would you ask for if you knew the universe had your back? What would you ask for that you've never even dared ask for before? And what's the universe inviting you to? Right? Because as you expand your happiness, your joy on the planet, guess what? That not only affects you, it affects all the people in your life in some way. And it not only affects them, it affects people beyond them. It affects the planet itself. If you were the planet, like you had all these little ants crawling all over you, ants called people, would you like to have pissed off, lonely, frustrated ants, or would you like to have joyous, fun, lit up ants crawling all over you? More of being you is what's more of being me is what's in the chat. And then we could get into a really fun conversation. We probably shouldn't go there today. What are you that you've decided you're not? And what are you not that you've decided you are? And would you be willing to let all of that go? Just destroy and uncreative, or collapse it all back to energy. Because a huge part of why we don't have the money we'd like, or the relationship we'd like, or the children we'd like, or the car we'd like, is our story of who we are. Who would you be without that story? Or our story we've been programmed with, right? I'm the messy person, or I'm the shy person. What if you weren't for a day, or a week, or a lifetime? Right? Whatever you put after the words I am, you're identifying with and you're making real for you. So if you're saying, I am tired, what are you creating? I'm sick of that person. What are you creating? What if you said more of, I am magnificent? I'm a miracle.
Hi, Kathy. What would you say instead of I am tired, for example? Or, what would you say instead of that?
Where are you? I want to see you.
I'm here, Aviva.
Aviva. Just looking. I am energy itself.
Okay.
Right? I am energy. I'm space. I'm consciousness. Well, that's what I am. Right? How can I lack energy?
Right. Thank you.
And then ask a question like, what would it take for me to feel more energized? And it could mean a nap, right? Or it could mean a brisk walk or coffee. Good. Or it could just mean tapping into the energy that you are. Oh, I've identified with tired. Cool. I've had enough of that. What would I like to choose now? It's all a choice. We don't really always like to hear that, but it's true. It's all a choice. Thanks for the question. Yeah. So what I love about energy, space, and consciousness kind of questions is that's what you are. And when you're asking questions that involve those, it's tapping into it's tapping you into energies that are already available. What do I mean by that? Well, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to whatever, to receive miracles every day with total ease? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be to have total clarity and ease about this project? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be to outcreate my financial reality with total ease this year and every year? Right? And then everything that doesn't allow it, you can destroy and then create it all, or you can collapse it back to energy. All of it's been solidified as a story or as a thought, and you just back into waves. I'm just looking at the chat here. Any other questions? And whose lies, yours or your family's or society's, whose lies are you buying that something is too big for you to have or receive or be? Whoa. When I ask a question like that, I could just feel all the solidity on that. Right? So everything that is will you destroy and then create it all. Yeah, like what have you decided is too big to ask for? Who decides what's big? Right? You are the energy of stars, right? You are you have the same elements as stars. Stars are pretty big. You are an infinite being. What could you choose and create this year that knocks your own socks off? Right? And would you be willing to take the uncomfortable steps to get there? Right? It's out of your comfort zone. So naturally, it's going to be uncomfortable. That's not heavy, that's uncomfortable. So would you be willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable? Right? When I asked a Grammy award-winning pianist if he would create a song for me, that was super uncomfortable. And guess what? I have like 6 songs created for me now. I had to ask though. Right? And I had wanted someone to create a song for me for years. I never knew how it would show up. But I did actually not only have to ask the universe, right, but I had to physically open my mouth and say, hey, can I come lie under your piano and have you play for me? 2 weeks later, I had my own song. What is it you would like that you've maybe asked the universe for, but you haven't actually taken action on? The universe is always saying yes. It's saying yes both to your desires and also to your doubt. So if you say, oh, I'd really love to, let me find one of these desires. Have more ease with money and receiving, says Marissa. Marissa. So I'd really love to have that. Oh, but no one in my family has that. The universe is also saying yes to that. Are you in your family? Yeah. So, but no one in my family has that. Okay, yeah. We'll show you more of that. Okay. That's when you say, oh, nope, that's the old story. What do I choose now? I choose to vibe with, I'm going to just be the person right now who has total ease with money and receiving. Someone wants to pay me? Yeah, thank you. I see lots of checks coming in. I see lots of money coming into my PayPal. From where? That's the universe's job. My job is to receive. My job is to follow the breadcrumbs. Right? So let me be the person right now, energetically, who has total ease with money and receiving. That feels really good. Okay, I'm breaking the old story by choosing the new.
Yeah, that was just a thought. That was difficult for me because every time I listened to you, yeah, I was inspired, but then I didn't do these things every day, and sometimes I let myself to the negative thinking to take over. But now I notice the negative thinking straight away after the radical abundance course with you. So, and I know how to work on those things, how to get out of it quickly, and how the exercises I do every day to keep myself in the inspired, positive mindset.
Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. I really, thank you so much. Yeah, the exercises are designed to help you get in a different brainwave state so you can reprogram. Because if we keep running the same story, we're going to get more of the same. Yes. She says here, I'm breaking with the old story and choosing the new one. You're choosing every single moment of every single day. So what is it you'd like to choose? Who is it you would like to be? That's available. Every energetic quality is available. So the quality of desperation is available. The quality of doubt is available. The quality of having extreme, like insane abundance is available. The universe doesn't say, oh no, you know what, that's only for people over here. That's only for nice people. No, there are jerks who have a lot of money. And there are extremely lovely, kind people who have a lot of money. There are people who work their butts off who have a lot of money, and there are people who don't lift a finger and have a lot of money. The universe doesn't say you need to be this type of person to have a lot of money. It's just, are you willing to have it? Are you willing to be the person who has a lot of money? That's it. And if you are, and you resonate that, and you follow, you take inspired action. I call it inspired action when you're following the breadcrumbs of the universe, when you're aware of what and asking for what the universe is inviting you to. It's your partner. Okay? You can have a lot of money. And if you have to make a card and give yourself permission, do that, right? I don't have to fit in with my family anymore. I can have more money than any of them. And they don't have to know. Right? Whose business is that? Yours? Your accountant's? Pretty much it. How much fun can you have out creating anything you've ever created before? And, you know, one thing I really love to do, it's just so much fun for me, is to sit with that and then just become aware of all of the people who are receiving because I'm receiving. who are abundant because I'm abundant, who are happier because I'm happy. I don't have to physically know them all, just tap in. So I know, Judika, that you wanted to do an energy pull exercise.
Yes. Yes. So if everyone could think about their desire and you lead us through the energy pool, that would be wonderful.
It's so funny. We haven't even asked, like, is that truly your desire? That's one of the things we do in Radical Abundance. We go there at all the desires, right? You think you have, and then, is this truly my desire? Okay, cross it off. No big deal. Is your desire related to that? Oh, yeah. Okay, what is it, really? You get to have some fun with that. All right. Because again, you're aware, so not every thought in your head, not every desire, not every hunger in your belly is yours. All right, so we're going to do a little exercise. If you like to close your eyes, go ahead and close them unless you're operating heavy machinery. And just tap into what it is you would like. What qualities you would like to have in your life in this coming year. If you woke up and you were just so delighted to be alive, what's getting you out of bed? And expand this energy of being lit up, of knowing that the universe has your back, of the delight of being surprised in magical and synchronistic ways. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know that was possible. Wow, how cool is that? Get a sense of increasing your connection to your own knowing. What is it like to be the person who knows she or he is aware? What is it like to have inspired conversations, no matter where you go? What is it like to be receiving money from unexpected sources? And ask for more. Things that I haven't mentioned. And be with this energy. Now expand your awareness out beyond your body, beyond the building, into the town or countryside, across the planet, across the galaxy. And from this galaxy and hundreds of trillions of galaxies, pull energy into your body, energizing these desires from above you, from below you, from right and left, front and back, spherically. And now from you to all the people, places, events, experiences, beings, and energies that will contribute to all of this showing up with total ease, trickle streams or sprinkles or sparkles out from you, or like a delicious scent, drawing those people, places, events, experiences, beings, and energies to you. So pulling energy in from all across the universe and trickling energy out so that all of these beings and people sense you and can find you. Pulling energy in and trickling energy out. Simultaneously receiving and gifting energy out in every direction. And tap once again into those desires, into those things you'd like to have and be and create. And be the energy of the person who has them already. Knowing that as you tap into who you are, having already had these come to pass, that it must come to be. So bring your gratitude for all of this. Thank you for the process. Thank you for the adventure. Thank you for who I've become. Thank you for these showing up in delightful and unexpected ways. Pulling energy in and trickling energy out. Trickling, trickling, trickling in streams and sparkles and sprinklers to all of those people, places, events, experiences, beings, and energies that are looking for you and don't even know it yet. Thank you, universe. More, please. I am receiving with total ease. And ask this energy pull to continue even as you go into your day or evening, even as you go off to sleep. The energy is still flowing to and through and out to all those people, places, events, experiences, beings, and energies that will contribute to all of this showing up. Who are you that you've never acknowledged? What gift are you that you've never acknowledged? What can you receive now that's beyond anything you've ever opened to receive? I can't wait to find out. So in a moment, I'll invite you to open your eyes, but even as your eyes open, sense the energy. Still receiving. It doesn't stop. So go ahead and open your eyes. How are you?
That was magical.
Say it again.
That was magical.
Yay! You're magical.
Thank you.
It's true.
I also felt magical.
It,
I also felt magical, beautiful, magical.
You couldn't experience it as magical if you weren't magical. That's what you are. Now, by acknowledging that, acknowledging is one of the keys to abundance. I wonder what you'll create.
Cool. I know that this might be a lot of tools and can be even overwhelming, but you can listen to the recording. I will send out the recording. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being here with us and sharing the tools.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. And yeah, I mean, 1 hour is a lot, right? It's a lot packed into 1 hour. And then I know you've mentioned the Radical Abundance course. That's 8 weeks to kind of integrate it and allow you to really expand, see it show up in your life. And actually it's 9 weeks now because it's like so much information.
I put a link in the chat for the Radical Abundance courses, and if anyone is interested to really commit to abundance in his life next year.
Thank you so much. In fact, I can just show you all the website for a quick moment. Can you see that? Do you see it big or small?
Big.
Big? Okay, cool. I was like, what's going on when I mess with all of this? So I created this. Actually, it really wanted to just flow through me. I sat down one day and for 3 hours wrote the manual. And of course, it kind of evolved over time, but I taught it as a 1-day class, and a woman begged me to put it online. She took the day off after the 1-day class, and she was like, I'm just taking the whole day off to go through this whole course because it's the best course on manifestation I've ever taken. So she begged me to put it online so she could like actually do modules and integrate it instead of like 8 hours worth of stuff in 1 day. So, and it's really about your idea of abundance. First, finding that. And I mean, it may not be like mine, living in Hawaii, traveling around the world, clients on every part of the globe, and writing a book. And, you know, it's about your version of abundance. That could be living in Antarctica. Who knows? So there's me with my son and a helicopter.
Oh, bless.
Isn't that fun?
Goodness. His headphones are bigger than his head.
They are, aren't they? There's Bella, if you can see that, and me in my London class. And there's Rainbow Mountain. So the picture is not, I guess you can't really, we need to use filters or something to make it pop more, but it's like purple and green and turquoise. It's amazing. It's crazy. Orange, all different colors. So that's me and my husband. So it's really about working with the universe and receiving the fruits of that. Getting clear on your desires and taking inspired action to reach them, stopping self-sabotage and doubt, scarcity thinking, which is what most of us learn growing up, and letting go of those negative messages from childhood and the belief that hard work is required. Now, it does require getting out of your comfort zone. That's not always easy, but it's not that you have to struggle. So getting beyond that, which allows you to spend more time with people you love and less time doing what's not fun for you. So to really know, the whole thing is to really help you brim with joy and know that the universe has your back, always. So you'll learn effective processes you can do for effortlessly clearing your blocks to receiving. And including like a column of light practice that really just changes your brainwave state so that you can attract and attract new patterns and create what you'd like, and prosperity mindset in space of being, rather than the old patterns of scarcity. So that you can do the creative projects, travel, and have what you've been asking for. And then it includes Radical Abundance, which is 8 Saturday Zooms, 9 weeks. There is 1 recorded Zoom that you can do during your own, that on the week, we have a week off over the 9 weeks, but that's for you to listen to that 9th Zoom. And so you get 9 Zoom recordings, both audio and video, that you can download. A private Facebook group, which was so much fun to hear what people create, and also your questions. I had a woman who had a private session with me a couple weeks ago, and she said, Kathy, I'm knocking stuff over here. That's not what she said. She said, Kathy, people don't know all the stuff they get with this course. It's amazing. Like all the different videos, which range from like 2-minute exercises to like 30-minute different exercises to help you get clear and get rid of doubt and change your relationship with money, and so many other things. Help you clarify your desires. And then lots of bonus videos and things like that, which I can talk about in a minute. So then, yeah, I'll talk about the bonuses. And then the other thing that we added, which is super fun, and I love hearing of people's experiences with this, is an accountability partner. So that person is someone you check in with. And I kind of pair you up just based on both where you live, but also who intuitively pops to go together. And so you can check in like, hey, I'm confused about this piece. What do you think about that? Or let's do this exercise together for each of us to empower our desires. And we take one of the Zooms also to have the group empower you with desires. And it's a really powerful process. So much fun. So anyway, you get $370 worth of bonuses. One is a 2-hour class called Stop Stopping You, which dives into the 9 areas that stop people the most. And you can really take a look at like, oh, which of these do I use to stop me? And then, so with Radical Abundance and that Stop Stopping You bonus, you also get the Kahuna Nighttime Attraction exercise. And I taught that in a class called Money Magic, and people posted in the Facebook group, Kathy, every time I use that exercise to get clients, to get money, to get whatever, it works. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It was taught to me by a Hawaiian shaman. So you use it before you go to sleep. It's amazing. There was actually a lady in Colorado who wanted to move and sell her alpaca farm. Alpacas are kind of like llamas, if you're not familiar. And she was like, I can't move. Who's going to buy my alpaca farm? You know, and she did that Kahuna nighttime exercise. And at the end of the week, a news station called her and they said, we want to do a spot on your alpaca farm. So she was on TV with her alpaca farm and people bought all her alpacas and she was able to move. So it works in really cool ways. So with the 9 weeks of Radical Abundance and Stop Stopping You and this nighttime attraction exercise, you get money magic exercises too, which are so much fun. Really designed from the money magic class to change your relationship with money. Because we've been fed a lot of weird ideas about money, most of us through our lives, and so that's designed to unwind you from that. And then, so with Radical Abundance and Stop Stopping You and the Kahuna Nighttime exercise and these 5 different money magic exercises, then you also get 3 different energy pull exercises, kind of like the one we just did, but they're all different. these happen to be my favorite ones that I have on my phone that I go to, you know, on a, you know, I just kind of ruffle through those because they're amazing. And as I said, the three elements to create are really choose, engage, and then pull energy, or be the energy pull of that coming in. So there on this page called meetkathywilliams.com/radical abundance online, there are a bunch of FAQs and testimonials and people's surprises that they got, you know, a $900 check out of nowhere, you know, just all different things. And then if you're one of the, you know, actually these are already taken, but I'm gonna offer them to all of you if you sign up today. A private session with me. So all of that, all of these different things, all of these bonuses and stuff is here on the site for this special price. So I would love to have you in that class if that's something that's you think would really help you create more in your life. It's definitely helped. Like Nicholas said, Kathy, this is the first year I'm ending my year with a surplus instead of a deficit. And it's just so much fun to see what people create. I had another woman who said she took the one-day class, and she said, after your class, I've had my best months of sales ever. And she's been in sales for like 25 years. So it definitely changes things for people. And then there's, yeah, go ahead.
Can I add to it? So when I looked at this course in October, I was asking, okay, would this be a contribution to my life? If it would, can I receive money for it, please? And really, I didn't have resistance, or it wasn't too significant to receive the money. I just asked, and I did. I received £400, something more on my paycheck, on my payslip that month, because for some reason I didn't pay that much tax that month. Somehow my tax code changed. I wasn't expecting it, and then I just had to take this radical abundance course because the money was obviously for that.
There you go. Yeah. So ask the universe to make it happen. It's really remarkable how it can. And it's been so much fun having you in the class and seeing what's changed for you.
And really, it was a bigger contribution to me than the foundation, because it's 8 weeks, it's spread out better, and not just 4 days when the foundation is just 4 days together. So in 8 weeks, you're changing, things come up and you work on them. Is really great course on how to manifest things.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that I've heard someone say, it was you actually, and you said, I've been wanting to know how to manifest for 16 years. Isn't that true?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and you finally get it.
Finally, I understand how to do it.
Yay! So cool. So there are different options here. There's the radical abundance, and there's also radical abundance for business. It's the same course, but with the business, you get 3 extra sessions that in which we specifically focus on business. So marketing, getting clients, your website, launches, whatever's up in your world. That part has been so much fun for me as well, to see what people change. And then there's a VIP option as well if you like more personal time. So like, what do you call it? Private sessions and stuff like that. So that's all in the link in the chat. And if you guys have questions about it, please ask me. I'm happy to, or ask Bella, because she's taken the course.
There is a question in the chat.
Which I cannot see. I think because I'm...
It says, hi Kathy, this 2 different classes. I think they're asking for the radical abundance for business and for the radical abundance.
So thank you, Lindsay. It is the same class, and then Radical Abundance just has, for business, has extra sessions and some extra bonuses that have to do more with business. So they're all both on the same page, and then you can click that link for business, and my computer's taking a long time to load. But it will tell you all that. I'm just gonna close it because it's taking so long. But it'll tell you all the bonuses. Essentially, the 9 weeks are the same, and then it's got 3 extra business sessions where we're a small group and we just mastermind and go through your questions and all sorts of business oriented stuff. So much fun. So
actually starts
the January 26th. I don't think you can see this, but this is me under a waterfall. That's a waterfall there, and there's it's just really funny. You guys, I'm so grateful for you being here and you being willing to create a different year this year. And thanks for sticking around and letting me, share what's up in my world. This class truly is my favorite class I facilitate. And then there is the retreat. If you want to come retreat into Radical Abundance, here it is, the Radical Abundance Retreat. It's with dolphins in Laguna Beach. So lots of bonuses, and you can watch my video on that. And that is on still at meetkathywilliams.com or RA-retreat. I can pop that in the chat. And then if you do the online course and you choose the retreat later, you get a special price for that. So hop in sooner rather than later. Let's see. I'm trying to find the chat. There it is.
17 people are still here. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. And gals, I'm from the Midwest, so for whatever reason, I grew up saying guys. Thanks, guys.
If anyone would like to learn access bars with me, if you haven't done access bars, I am in Aylesbury and in Northampton in England. So I am very happy to teach access bars and to help you with your business, with marketing, and get your business into a good shape. I'm excited to do that.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the share. And thank you so much, Bella, for inviting me here on here today on this Zoom.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Happy New Year.
Create an awesome year.
Yes, stay in touch, everyone. I have a radio show. It's called Imperfect Brilliance. It's on IOM.fm. Oh, it's Om Times, IOM.fm. It's on Tuesdays, but you can find it. You can find it on iTunes. It's called Imperfect Brilliance. In February, that will be changing a little bit. It's going to be called Sexy Mom Abundant Life. So, but for now it's Imperfect Brilliance, and both of them will be on Om Times Radio. It's also on SoundCloud and all the places where you find SoundCloud and iTunes and all the places where you can find podcasts and stuff like that. So you can listen anytime.
Sexy Mom, wow.
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
I really knew it wanted to change. It was so funny because I was on the phone with someone. I had come up with this, and she said, "Kathy, why aren't you doing?" She said, both of the people on my radio station who have a show about abundance are poor. Why don't you do a show on abundance? And I was like, I think you must be psychic because I already have the idea and I'm gonna do it. So yeah, and it was such a funny story how that came about because my husband was like, I think you ought to get a minivan. And I was like, I don't think so. I recognized I had so much resistance to getting a minivan that I had to really take a look at that. Because minivans are fine. Like, I can totally see advantages of minivans. And I had so much resistance. And then I recognized, like, all the definitions and reference points I had for being a mom. And on that, like, so many of the messages and things we have aren't true. So what if you can have everything you've been asking for in more magical ways than you've ever considered? And so that's kind of where that title came from. You can be sexy and a mom and have abundance and have a great time and still love your children. So, oh. Thank you, Megan. Thanks. She said she's taken money, magic, and radical abundance, and it brought so much into her life. Well, thank you. I'm really grateful for you. So, magical people, thanks for still being here. That is, if you are still here and not just like your picture on the on the Zoom. Looks like some of you are still here. I'm really grateful for you. And yeah, any other questions? Where are you, Aviva? Are you in Europe?
I'm in Israel.
Oh, wow. So what time is it there?
It's not that late. No, it's only 7:30.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
evening,
so
really.
funny. Yeah, I'm used to being in Hawaii and having such a huge time difference. I'm in Chicago right now, so it's not a big deal.
Well, it's still time difference.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you. This was great. Loved
Thank
it.
you. I'm so glad. Keep in touch. Yeah, actually, if you haven't already gone to meetkathywilliams.com, there is an energy pull, a free energy pull on my site, and you can just, all right.
Thank you.
There is also the money rain exercise, right?
Also the money rain exercise.
So much abundance.
It's all available. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Bye.